Okay, welcome back. Today is here's the second of the beers that we're going to do today. This one is Omission Ultimate Light. It's marketed as a golden ale. Omission has two facilities in which they make their products: Portland, Oregon, and also Portsmouth, New Hampshire. This beer, 99 calories, 3 grams of carbs, 4.2 ABV, and it's listed as 10 on the IBU scale. So the expectation on this one at that low of a rating shouldn't be real bitter. It's made with two row pale malt in addition to some caramel malt, which should give it a little bit more rich color. Again, you know, the caramel malt kind of roasted a little bit longer, gives the beer just a little bit darker, hopefully a little more like a golden color. It's made with 3 different types of hops: Millennium, Citra, and Galaxy hops. So we should get like a piney type, citrusy, grapefruit type overtone on this. The thing about Omission products is they are crafted, excuse me, to eliminate as much gluten as possible. So anybody that is trying to watch it, now please understand, this isn't a recommendation that says anybody with celiac disease can go out and drink these beers, because that's not true. But what I will do is I went ahead and put down some numbers here to talk about real quick. By marketing their beer as crafted to reduce gluten, they're required to test the gluten content of every batch that they make. Their average is about 20 ppm, parts per million of gluten in each batch of beer. Compare that to a regular lager, which is 63 ppm. Stout is 361. Like an ale, like a pale ale, or a what this is supposed to be marketed as is like I said, a golden ale. So 20 ppm, and a regular ale would be around 3,000 ppm. So again, not gluten free, but a significant reduction in the gluten amount. And that's because, again, the barley that they use and their process after the brewing process is what actually reduces the gluten. They have some process that actually breaks down the gluten chain, and they're able to remove it as much as possible during that process. But anyway, a wheat beer, like a Blue Moon or something like that, that actually is at 26,000 ppm as far as gluten. So again, significantly less than an average beer. So anybody that's really, again, not necessarily safe for celiac disease, please understand that. But if you're looking to reduce gluten in your diet, this is a good option if you still want to have a couple beers every now and again. So anyway, enough about that portion, but I thought it was important to bring that out. So as a golden ale, again, 10 IBU for an ale is very, very low. So I'll be surprised if it's not, in my opinion, a little bit higher than that as far as the hoppiness. I'm going to go ahead and pop it open and give it a shot. Again, for the nutritional value, though, I don't know. I'm be interested to see how this actually comes out. Boy, doing these outside makes it a little bit tougher to get the original. They're not coming after me. We live fairly close to a fire station, so anytime anytime there's a call or anything, we get that. So anyway, I apologize for the interruption. I'm not going to edit it out. I believe that gives us some more realism. Anyway, long story short, the beer itself, gold. I mean, it looks really nice. Yeah, there's definitely some hoppiness in the aroma. You can pick out the pine overtones in that. Not necessarily pick up any citrus, maybe some grapefruit, like grapefruit pith, peel, whatever you want to call it, some grapefruit bitterness. I think it's higher than 10 IBU on the bitterness scale, my personal opinion, based on 1 or 2 times I've drank beer in my life. But no, anyway, I think it's a little bit higher than that as far as bitterness. Maybe they might be able to market it at 10, but what I'll tell you is, as far as the actual taste, it's a little bit more hoppy than 10 IBU. I think it's more hoppy in flavor than like a macro brew. Again, you know, go back to like it honestly, you know, if you're looking for a macro brew that it kind of has that same hoppiness, might be like a Yingling, or you know, something along those lines. Not a Miller Lite, not a Bud Light, but more like a Yingling. You can taste the malt and the hoppiness as well. So it's got a little bit of sweet taste from the malt, the caramel malt, but it also has the hoppiness, the pine overtones is what I really pick out, not so much the citrus. But again, you know, for the nutritional value, please consider this if you want to, like I said, if you want to reduce gluten as much as possible. 99 calories, 3 carbs, 4.2 ABV, so standard with most macros. But I mean, it's a good tasting beer. I mean, for what it's supposed to be, I think it's pretty spot on. I like the color of it. It's like a rich golden color. I'll give it a 4 on color. The aroma, there's, like I said, there's the pine from the hops that you can smell, and it's got a little bit of the sweet, almost. I hate to use the term biscuity because that's not what I smell. It's more like a bread, like fresh baked bread type of smell to it, in addition to the hops. You know, so I'll go 4 on the aroma. The taste is really good. I mean, it's a really good tasting beer. This is a good beer if you're eating, as an example, if you're like have a cheese plate, or a, you know, something that has maybe like I don't know, like a mouth coating type flavor, like a cheese or like something like that. This would be really good with that, because it would definitely cut through that and kind of balance out the palate. It's a really good tasting beer. I'll go 4 on that. The bitterness, again, you know, it says 10 IBU. I'm telling you, it's more than that. I would say 20 in my personal opinion, because it just, there is a lot of the pine that you can pick up in this beer. So you know, I mean, it's good beer, don't get me wrong. I keep it in my refrigerator, so I would go basically 16 out of 20 on this one. And it does have enough, for me, it has enough hoppy aroma and hop taste that I think it does, you know, meet the style of a golden ale. I think it's really good beer. And again, like I said, you know, considering gluten content, it's got a lot of flavor. And as much as they've reduced that, I'm really impressed with this beer. So anyway, Omission Ultimate Light, good job, guys.